Hola, amigos! Welcome to my channel, The Foreign Body. I'm Snake, and today I'm going to be talking to you about fitness, gymming, and weight loss. Okay, so let's get started. So I actually went on a weight loss journey. I will talk about that more in another video, but I want this video to be about how you can start your weight loss journey. And for those of you who aren't able to find motivation and who are really wanting to lose a lot of weight, be it 5 kgs, be it 10 kgs, be it 50 kgs, but still if you want to do it, you can do it. I know I started off by actually being very lazy and not motivated in any sort of way. I was just lazing around all day and praying somehow that I would just lose weight. I know if there are some of you like that, then this would be useful. If not as well, I hope these are some good tricks that you could inculcate, because most of what I'm gonna say is obvious, pretty obvious facts that even I knew when I was obese, but I couldn't actually inculcate them in any way. But I also think that when you look at somebody for inspiration who has done this in the past, so that you would feel like even you can, you're not the only one. So this is why I want to share my story. So first thing we're gonna do is start by setting a goal, and the goal is how many kgs you want to lose and how many months you want to lose it in. It can be 2 to 3, it can be 5, it can be 10 kgs, it can be 20 kgs. No matter how many kgs you want to lose, you can do it. And the first thing we're gonna do is start by charting that out. So if you are in your BMI, then it's quite easier to do. But if you're out of your BMI, it's going to be amazing to get into your BMI itself. So what you need to do is actually calculate how much your BMI is. And I think most of you know this already, or you can use a BMI calculator available on the internet that is based on your height and your weight and how much you're supposed to be. So based on your BMI, you can decide how many kgs you want to lose. But for some of us who are already in our BMI, we carry a certain amount of fat, especially in the waist area, and this makes the waist to hip proportion really messed up, so it causes problems like PCOD and other hormonal problems. So you could still want to lose weight even if you're in your BMI. So the main goal is how many kgs you want to lose. So I suggest that each month you lose 2.5 to 3 kgs and not more than that. But sometimes it does happen that when you start this exercising and dieting as well, you could lose up to 5 kgs, but beyond that is not good in any way, because it could lead to loose skin and other problems like dehydration, constipation, hair loss, and you want to avoid all of that. So it's better to lose slowly and steadily than like rush into this whole process. And yeah, so let's start with the weight loss. How much you want to lose is the main goal. So now for example, if you want to lose 10 kgs, you can take 5 months, and you have to tell yourself that you're gonna follow this for 5 months. So the most important thing is motivation. Once you're motivated, then you're gonna keep going, and as you see results, this is gonna keep you motivated to keep doing this. But the first motivation to begin this is the only main concern. So I know a lot of you might be sitting at home, they don't work out much or have a sedentary lifestyle and keep procrastinating, thinking I'm gonna start this journey, I'm gonna do this, I wanna do this, I want to lose a lot of weight, but I hope somehow I just lose the weight. I don't want to put in the effort, but I can guarantee you that the efforts are everything. When you put in this effort and then you see the results, that is beautiful and amazing. To feel that is just amazing. So I think you should get motivated and start doing this for yourself, for nobody else, but for yourself. So the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is dieting. So do not follow any of these fat diets, crash diets, none of those things. Keto, paleo, you don't have to do any of those for weight loss, because those do give us drastic results and it is quite short term. But to sustain that, if you're probably an obese person who just jumps into keto, it's really hard for you to sustain this, and then you just jump back to your old diet and put back on all the weight. So it's better for you to start with a normal, balanced, healthy diet, because keto eliminates all of the rice, the carbs that you have, and that's not really good for anybody to jump into. And so one thing that I followed is the GM diet, which was eating fruits on some days and vegetables on some days for 7 days. But I would probably do it only for 3 days, because I would have severe sugar crashes and I needed my carbs. So I wouldn't sustain on that, and I would just quit and then jump back to my old diet all the time. So one thing you should do is identify what kind of foods you lean towards. So like I said, I'm a sweet tooth person. So So I liked a lot of dessert stuff like chocolates, ice creams, donuts, pastries, any of those stuff I would lean towards. And the main thing you need to do is identify that. So if you're the kind of person who likes a lot of fried foods, then you need to cut that out. So you just eliminate them out of the picture for a time being. And what you need to do is what you have to do is dump all these things in the bin. Your stomach is not the bin. Do not tell yourself that you're gonna eat all this and finish it off because you already bought them and it's gonna be a waste of money. So you're gonna finish eating them and then start the diet, because that's not gonna happen, because again, next time you go out, you're gonna buy some more stuff. This process is going to continue again and again. So what you need to do is just dump everything in the dustbin or give it to the poor or give it to somebody. So the next thing that you want to note is how much your portion size or meal size is for your lunch, your dinner and your breakfast. You need to note how much you're eating. And although this might seem quite obvious, but sometimes you just don't note these things because you feel like you're hungry, you need to eat. Even if you eat a lot, you think you could compensate, but you don't. And it ends up in a whole cycle. And the first time I went to a dietitian or a nutritionist was 10 years back when I was in my teenage years. So I was still obese back then. And so I went to this consultant and she told me that I need to measure in 1 cup the amount of rice I have. So I have to have only 1 cup of rice for lunch and the same 1 cup of vegetables as well with the rice. So that's all my lunch was supposed to be. And for dinner, she wanted me to have half a cup of rice, 1 cup of vegetables, and probably some buttermilk, or I could have anything else for dinner as well, but she wanted me to make sure that I measure it each time in a cup. Now for a teenager, when you just notice that all your friends are eating whatever they want and you just feel like, why am I supposed to do this? Why am I going to take a cup and measure my food quantity and do this whole thing? So I never really got to it because I felt, or I probably told myself, that I eat less anyway. So after I completely eliminated the junk food from the scenario, I noticed that I eat quite normally as compared to my friends. I do eat the same amount, but then I realized that still wasn't equal to 1 cup of rice and 1 cup of vegetables. So I'm not asking you to start this because I know it is not only tedious to measure this thing each time, but it also feels like you're eating very less, and that's not something nice to feel every single day to measure and do. So now what I did is that I reduced the amount of rice I was having in comparison to how much I was having before. So I only compared myself to my previous diet habits and I just reduced the quantity in that sense. But I did not take a measuring cup, but if you are actually up for it, I think that's a good idea too, to actually measure your portion size. Or you could even use smaller plates. If you use this bigger plate, you can actually reduce the plate size to this much and tell yourself that that's the only amount you're gonna eat in that day, but do not pile it on, obviously. So yeah, that's the other thing that you can do. And how many meals to eat in a day is breakfast, lunch and dinner for sure. And apart from that, I know some of you think snacking is bad, and even I thought the same, and I didn't snack in, or I tried at least to not snack in between. But I think you need to snack as well, because otherwise you're gonna gobble a lot for the lunch and dinner timings. So snacking is good as well. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is exercise. And so not only for obese and overweight people, but especially in the sedentary lifestyle, I think everybody must exercise. And especially when you're obese and overweight, I know it is kind of lethargic to try to get up, and you'd probably even be praying for a miracle to happen, to just go through some surgery to cut down all the fat, or you would want to invest in all these fat burning pills. So don't do any of that. You just need to start exercising, and I know it is quite tedious, but what I found useful is that when I paid for a gym membership, I was giving my money to them, so I would feel guilty if I didn't go to the gym. So I would start going. So if you're gonna be one of those kind of people, then you should ideally do that. But if you're the kind who's actually a little active and you're good with doing all this physical exercise at home, and you're able to do a little bit of yoga, or you're able to actually exercise at home, or even go for a walk or do some skipping, then that's amazing as well. But if you're the kind who actually thinks you're going to do it the next day, you're not going to go to the gym or join a gym, and you just want to start off by doing it at home, then you're going to keep telling yourself that you're going to do it the next day, you're going to do it the next day, but then the next day never comes. So I think ideally you should join a gym. And for those of you who are actually scared or are feeling less confident to join a gym, I was the same, because I was really obese and I was really conscious of myself, because especially in a gym when there are so many fit people. You are the only one who's gonna be awkward and obese over there. So what I did was I started off in an all women's gym, so that helped me. There were only women, and I also went in a timing where not many people would show up, so I didn't have to actually interact with a lot of people. Not that I interact with too many people in the gym, but I thought it would help. And as I started reducing, I joined an unisex gym when that membership was over. And even in this gym, it's nobody's business to look at you, but they do, and it doesn't matter. But you're only there for yourself. It's your goals, your weight loss, your journey. You don't have to interact with anybody. You're not there to socialize. You're only there to lose your weight. So you can still go. I know it is quite a little motivation to especially go to a gym when you're feeling like that, but you still can do it. Trust me, if I can, then you definitely can. I was really shy and I was feeling a little overwhelmed to do this, but it probably feels like that for a few days, but after that you know that you're just there for yourself. It doesn't matter, nothing matters. And especially when you start losing the weight, that motivates you more to go further and do more. The sort of exercise that you ideally need for weight loss is cardio as well as strengthening, because as you lose weight, you're gonna have a little loose skin, and it also helps to build muscle so that you can lose the fat faster. So you need to go through strength training as well. So it is ideal to join the gym as well, but you can do some strength training even at home. And yeah, so I think it should be a mix of cardio as well as strength training. And also one thing that I wanted to tell you is cut down on all the carbonated drinks, aerated drinks like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Mirinda. That just has a lot of sugars, and we're very well aware of that, but some of us still continue to have them, and that's not good for us in any way. I think you would rather substitute with some tender coconut juice, or any sort of fresh fruit juices are way better than having any of those. And yeah, while you're dieting, it's better not to have any fresh fruit juices also, because you might as well eat the fruit. And also because if you make a juice, you're gonna use 3 oranges to make a juice rather than eat the 1 orange. So yeah, and now we come to the end of the video. I just wanted to remind you, set your goals first, start with diet and then continue with exercise, because diet is more important than exercise. Because I've been exercising for quite a few years and I was able to maintain my weight, and it was slow as well. The weight loss was comparatively slow as to when I incorporated dieting into this whole picture. Then it was just booming and flourishing. So I hope you're able to find some motivation in this, and do share this with somebody who wants motivation. I will make more videos regarding this, and yeah, enjoy the rest of my channel. Bye guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.